Hi everybody, this is Mark Jansen from Jansen Photo Expeditions. Today I'd like to talk about tripods, but before I do that, I got a lot of questions over the weekend about the L bracket video that I did. A lot of people were confused and couldn't quite see what it looked like on the bottom of the camera. So I took one off to have you take a look at it. This is the L bracket, and this is the bottom plate. This is the one I don't recommend. All right, if you're into landscape photography, you definitely want an L bracket. You can purchase these anywhere on the internet from $10 to $150. Just make sure they're a solid piece. Don't get anything that's adjustable, and make sure it's form fitted to the camera. Okay, so now I'd like to talk more today about tripods. I have two different tripods here. Let me move my camera over here out of the way. Okay, on the tripods, you got to make sure that your tripod is at a length that you can actually travel with, and that's a big part of what landscape photography is. You're usually getting on a plane, you just want to make sure it's a good height. And these are all about 19 to 22 inches. These will fit in your bag fine with the head taken off, okay? Another thing about tripods, they come in all kinds of materials. These two are carbon fiber, and this one's a lever lock, and this one's a twist lock. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages of both. What I prefer myself these days, I'm going a lot with the twist lock because I've had this for a while. I'm very used to using it, and this is one of the early ones I used with the lever lock. What I found with the lever lock that I do miss in the twist lock is the fact that if I'm in a tight ravine, I can recall I was in Iceland. I was in a really tight area, and I was trying to adjust my tripod, and I got it all twisted and hooked in, and then I go to take the shot, and all of a sudden I realized I didn't twist this to lock it, and my tripod started slipping down. You know, it wasn't very great. It wasn't a great situation because I kind of missed the shot, and I was a little upset. But I remember in the past when I was using the lever locks, you know, when you unclip these like this, you have a visual reference that it's locked down. So the clips will be turned out, so you can look down and make sure it's locked. So that's something to consider. But that's about all I would. That's all I'd say. What the major difference is between the two. Another thing a lot of people asked me over the weekend was about these little spikes on the bottom, and they were wondering what this was all about. I use these, you know, of course I'm in a lot of rocky situations and stone and ice sometimes, and these things just jam down into the ice and rock really firmly and hold it. But it's another thing too, it's really nice, you can actually get little rubber, little pieces that fit on here, little foots. So if you decide to, you know, come home and you're doing a photo shoot indoors and you don't want to hurt the floors, you can put the rubber pieces on and you're good to go. And a little thing about setting up your tripod when you get to location. What a lot of people do, they'll get to location and they'll start with the big opening, the big leg, or the first one, and they'll jam it down into the sand, and then they'll open it up like this. And 9 times out of 10, they leave this bottom one kind of jammed in there, and then they want to open it up and it gets all kind of caked with garbage and stuff. So the trick is to open, you know, let me go backwards here. The trick is to start with the small one first, tighten it up, then work your way up through all the other sections. And the reason why is it keeps this nice and clean and functioning properly. Okay? Okay, so you have all your gear here and you're out running around in the wilderness. And you'll notice a lot of these tripods have different fittings. Like this has a star fitting here. And a lot of them also have hex fittings that are somewhere all around here. And also your tripod, your cameras will have Allen bolts, okay, on the bottom, okay. So what I like to do, rather than just throwing a bunch of tools in a bag, and when you're out fiddling around in the wilderness, it's hard to find them all. So what I like to do, I take a little duct tape, you look really closely here, and I run a strip of duct tape between all the Allen bolts, Allen wrenches, and then I tape them to, adhesive face to face, and it keeps them in a nice little lanyard, and you can roll them up like this. And you have all the sizes you need, and also you can put your actually put your main star locking Allen wrench in there too. I don't have it on this one, but yeah. And so that's a good way to keep your tools organized when you're out in the wilderness. Really simple, duct tape. It's great stuff. Okay. I also got a lot of questions about these pads that I had on my tripod, Okay, what these are for is to protect your hands in cold conditions. You'll notice that this one doesn't have any. Carbon fiber particularly can get quite cold, so when you put these foam pads on covered with fabric, it's quite comfortable. Another reason too is when I'm carrying my tripod around, you know, let's say I have my camera attached and I'm like this. So these pads are quite comfortable around your neck, and it's quite comfortable for locking around there. And you can actually, you know, walk like this, and so it's pretty comfortable. So something you might want to consider doing. These are pretty simple. You can get these on the internet for relatively nothing, or you can even take some, you know, some foam pipe insulation and wrap them around it, and then put an old sock on it or something. Works really well. Okay. So those are quite a few little ideas that I had over the weekend. If you have any more questions, subscribe to us right down here, and you know, we'll get weekly updates on all this new stuff. So hopefully I'll see you on one of our expeditions. We have a lot of things coming up. We're excited about Yosemite coming, and also Iceland again. So check us out, Mark Jansen and Holly Jansen at JansenPhotoExpeditions.com. Thank you.